What brings you to the temple, novice? Have you been lax in your duties? I've received a letter from Roadyr. Lord Indoril Ilvi asks us to spread his words of wisdom to the common Velathi here in Almas Thur. Perhaps you can help me, novice. Lord Indoril Ilvi has written me saying that in these troubled times he hopes that the temple is doing everything in our power to remind the common Velathi in Almas Thur that their foremost duty in life is to serve the tribunal. His letter came with a supplement of Proverbs, penned by the good Lord himself, which he hopes we will preach to the locals. Now, I've reviewed all the Proverbs. On the surface, there's nothing wrong with them, but I don't know, novice, they make me uneasy. Well, listen to this one for example. The false scales are imbalanced, the truth will tip them over. A fine aphorism, one might say, but doesn't it seem to berate anti-Hlaalu? Yes. The symbolism with the false scales is rather heavy-handed, isn't it? Well, whatever the case may be, we will do as Indoril Ilvi asks. There is no reason to antagonize him. I would like you to hand out these proverbs to local Velathi. However, if you are asked to explain what the proverbs mean, I want you to be as neutral as possible in your interpretation. You might also want to show these to Headman Lithro. She knows the minds of the common folk better than I do.
Water and stone pilgrim, true.
Well, hello there. A pleasure to
The
meet you.
mighty deer sleeps. Its birds run calm.
Warmest welcomes, novice. May the blessings of our shrine always be upon you. Loris Dallin thinks that these proverbs are Indoril propaganda? Hogwash. Everyone knows that Lord Indoril Ilvi is both a wise and pious man. He cares for the Velathi, and his words are clearly meant to comfort and enlighten us. It's not my place to second-guess the motivations of a priest of the temple, but I can't help but wonder if Loris Dallin is a secret Hlaalu sympathizer. Anyway, go ahead and spread these proverbs, interpret them as you see fit. The false scales are imbalanced.
Praise
The truth will
Veloth.
tip them over.
What brings you to the holy crossing of Almas Thir?
One cannot bow to the Emperor without turning their back on the three. Envy not the rich man. His wealth offers no shelter from the storm. A house built on stolen land crumbles. It's the house built on ancestral land that thrives.
I don't think we've been introduced, Outlander. I'm Vancio. How can I help you?
You're in Almas Thur, a stronghold on the Thur River. Need help finding your way across the bridge.
Praise Veloth. You walk Veloth.
May you find all that you seek, traveler.
Saints walk with you, Outlander. What brings you to Almas Thur? The temple has some words of wisdom for me, written by Lord Ilvi. Let's hear them. Alright, false scales that fall over. What does it mean?
Water and stone pilgrim, truth and faith.
Oh, I see. I suppose that makes sense. Thank you for explaining this to me, Ada. Saints walk with you, Outlander. What brings you to Almas Thur? The temple has some words of wisdom for me. Written by Lord Ilvi. Let's hear them. I hear you, but I don't quite understand what it means. The Emperor lives far away. What does this have to do with me? Oh, I see. I suppose that makes sense. Thank you for explaining this to me.
Please, go
Ada.
ahead, Outlander. I'm listening.
You're in Almas Thur, a stronghold on the Thur River. Need help finding your way across the bridge. The temple has some words of wisdom for me. Written by Lord Ilvi. Let's hear them. To be frank, I wouldn't mind if I was rich. Can you explain what the proverb is supposed to mean? Oh, I see. I suppose that makes sense. Thank you for explaining this to me, Ada.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
Something moved in the water. Something big. I saw it.
Welcome to my stall, Outlander. Unfortunately, these slaves are not for sale. They were slated for delivery to a noble of House Indoril, but it seems any of them could be a spy in disguise, according to my informant. Care to join me, Ada? Nothing is better than a good drink and some fine company. I am Rothisteller, Hunter. You are in Almas Thur, a stronghold on the Thur River. Need help finding your way across the bridge. The temple has some words of wisdom for me. Written by Lord Ilvi. Let's hear them. Okay, so one house crumbles and the other one doesn't. What does it mean? Oh, I see. I suppose that makes sense. Thank you for explaining this to me, Ada. Looking for grub down here in the canal works, Outlander? Warm beds? Perhaps a jug of sujama to
There
wet
is
your
someone
tongue for
watching
prayers?
me. I can
Look
tell.
no further than the Thirsty Saint Corner Club.
You're in Almas Thur, a stronghold on the Thur River. Need help finding your way across the bridge. I think I've heard enough. Thank you.
The mighty Thea
You're with the temple?
Its
Yes.
currents run
You'd better
calm.
tell Loris Dallin that we're not leaving until she surrenders that bloody Hlaalu agent to us. Just keep moving. I'm watching these three.
How wonderful.
What is it, novice? Have you distributed all of Lord Ilvi's words of wisdom to the common Velathai yet? You handed out all the proverbs to the Velathai, novice? That's good. And from what I've heard, you didn't make it seem like the temple was on the side of either of the great houses. Thank you for remaining neutral in this matter. Take these potions as a reward for doing your duty. Now, we have an urgent matter in our hands. As you probably saw on your way in, there are Indoril foot soldiers at our door. They are here for Kalisha. She needs our help. Temple, learned Proverbs. Lord Indoril Ilvi wishes that the temple teach a number of religious proverbs, written by him, to the common Velathai of Almas Thur. Normally this wouldn't be a problem, but Loris Dallin has doubts about these words of wisdom. She thinks this is likely an Indoril ploy to turn the locals against the Hlaalu. She told me I should spread the proverbs to commoners as requested, but be neutral in my interpretation of them. Headman Lithro, being the Velathai leader, might be able to offer some insight. Headman Lithro didn't think that the proverbs written by Lord Indoril Ilvi were at all dubious. She wondered if Loris Dallin might secretly be a Hlaalu sympathizer. I have handed out all the proverbs. I should report back to Loris Dallin. Loris Dallin thanked me for handing out all the proverbs.